On July 1st, Lithuania's Ministry of National Defense announced that on top of investing in new equipment and infrastructure, it would be spending more on its soldiers. This will see increased salaries and compensation for special duties. Let's take a look at all the details in today's video. The press release from the Ministry of Defense begins like this. Strengthening the Lithuanian armed forces is one of the most important goals in protecting the country from geopolitical threats and ensuring its security. This means not only acquiring modern weapons, but also paying attention to the social well-being of soldiers. Minister of National Defense Dovile Shakaliene adds that in order to retain experienced soldiers and attract new ones, the government must provide these service members with appropriate incentives. After all, we are competing for the most talented and highly qualified specialists in the entire labor market, she adds. So, what's changing? Well, it's announced that the salary coefficients of professional military service soldiers will increase by 7%. The amounts of bonuses for soldiers for special duties will also increase. The maximum limit of the coefficient of the bonus for special operations and military training for them will increase from 0.37 to 0.57 of the base amount. Pausing quickly here, if you're not familiar with the concept of coefficients in the context of salaries, well, in Lithuania, most government pay and salaries are based on multiplying what is called the basic amount, something that is linked to the average monthly salary in the country for a given year. So in 2025, the basic amount is 1,785.4 euros. The chart you see here, imperfectly translated to English, shows how much each rank earns as a base salary. So, looking at the chart, a first-year sergeant would have a monthly base salary of nearly 2,000 euros because we're multiplying the basic amount of 1,785 euros and 40 cents by 1.12. Then, using the special operations bonus as an example, this individual would then get a bonus of about 1,018 euros for the month, since we're multiplying the base amount by 0.57 to determine the bonus. We're guessing that for duty periods shorter than a month, the bonus is calculated based on the number of days conducting these special duties. Before you comment on just how little it is, yes, Lithuanian salaries are lower than many Western European and Nordic countries. At the same time, we have to imagine that there are many allowances and bonuses that come on top of these basic amounts. And so, moving on with the list of increases, the coefficient of the bonus paid for participation in field exercises in barracks mode will be increased from 0.37 to 0.8 of the base amount. Increasing the bonus for participation in field exercises would potentially encourage more soldiers to serve in combat units, which would allow for better staffing of infantry battalions, the ministry says. Then there is supplemental pay provided for soldiers for special reconnaissance and military training, which is 0.27 to 0.32 of the base amount. For direct observation of Lithuanian airspace, weapons management and control during combat duty, the supplemental pay is 0.11 to 0.21 of the base amount. Supplemental pay for performing official tasks for an extended period of time at another place of service in the territory of Lithuania will be 0.11 of the base amount, and duty in peacetime task performance forces will also see supplemental pay of 0.11 of the base amount. Outside of pay, the military's retirement age is also being extended. For professional military service soldiers, it's going from 60 up to 65 years. The same extension is being proposed for reserve soldiers. The amount of monetary compensation for food expenses for soldiers and conscripts has also been increased. Compensation for food expenses for soldiers and conscripts is increasing from €12.50 to €16.50. The amount of compensation per month will increase from €375 to €495. €10.5 million will be allocated for all of these pay increases. €21.1 million will be allocated for this in the future, and funding will be secured from the budget appropriations of the Ministry of National Defense. We should also note that prior to this announcement regarding pay and bonus increases, there was a ministry announcement in late June stating that state-funded health insurance will be provided for conscripts who are performing military service. Prior to this change, soldiers in compulsory initial military service who were not working and did not receive an income were obligated to pay compulsory health insurance contributions themselves, an amount set at €72.45 per month. So, all of this sounds like great news for Lithuanians who are considering the military as a career, or for Lithuanian service members who are unsure if it's worth staying in the military. The minister makes a good point in this announcement. The military is competing for the most talented and highly qualified specialists in the entire labour market, and there are many jobs in the civilian world that could be just as appealing. So, what are your thoughts about these pay changes? And looking at the base salaries for soldiers in the Lithuanian Armed Forces, what's your reaction to this amount? Let us know by leaving a comment.